Jessup House is an 8-bedroom hotel in Tewkesbury, and it's in crisis. 2 years ago, New Yorker Ralph Polizzi and his British partner Sarah Pounton pooled their savings and spent £500,000 buying this Georgian townhouse, with aspirations of turning it into a boutique-style establishment. Only Sarah had previous experience in the hospitality industry, but making a profit has proved harder than either of them expected.
We're always the last hotel to fill up in Tewkesbury.
We should be 100% booked.
8 rooms. I mean, what's that, 8 rooms?
And it hasn't only been filling the hotel's rooms that's proved difficult. Their personal relationship is buckling under the strain.
I wanted to go into this business with somebody who wanted to run a hotel and, you know, have fun with the guests. And Ralph, he complains about everything all the time.
Despite plunging profits, they can't agree on the best way to move the business forward.
Sarah feels that through improving the accommodation, and that will improve business, where I don't think that would make any difference at all, because out of the 8 rooms, 6 of them are absolutely fine. 2 of them are fantastic. You're missing the point. The point is incredibly simple.
Ralph believes his newly opened restaurant is the answer to the hotel's survival, and they've reached an uncomfortable stalemate.
No, it doesn't.
Well, I think it does, and that's exactly what's wrong. Well, I know I'm right.
He actually would stand in reception and argue with me in front of guests.
We haven't lost any guests. We've
had someone threaten to punch. He said, I can't put my bags down because I'll punch him.
I mean, you almost hit a guest this morning.
In a bid to knock Jessup House into shape, they've called the hotel inspector, award-winning hotelier Alex Polizzi.
I've just arrived in Tewkesbury, and it looks like a very pretty town. According to their website, I'm staying at an equally pretty boutique townhouse hotel. I can't imagine what's going wrong there. It's a good job the hotel name is in the menu board, because otherwise I wouldn't know if I'd come to the right place. Not a very effective way to attract passing trade. Hello.
Hello.
Alex Polizzi.
Hello, Alex. How are you?
Very well. Nice to meet you.
Hello, Alex. Welcome to Jessup House.
Thank
nice to meet
you. Where's the sign?
It was knocked down when they were doing the pavements out front. Getting a new one designed.
OK. It was quite hard to find you.
Yes.
It's very hard.
A lot of people say that.
Yeah,
Would you like to go to your room?
The inspection isn't off to the best of starts.
We're up 2 flights of stairs. Here we are.
Will Alex's room redeem the situation?
A very nastily stained carpet. Teak pine everywhere you look. It would take, what, a couple of grand to make this a really pretty room. It's just not what I expect of a townhouse hotel. I do hate carpet in the bathroom, particularly worn carpet. I mean, how much does it cost to put a few tiles in?
Alex's first impressions of Jessup House have left her underwhelmed, to say the least, and she's keen to find out exactly how the business is managed.
OK, who does what here in the hotel?
I do everything. Ralph does the books.
That's not true. Basically, Sarah takes care of most of the things that have to do with the running of the hotel. She does a lot of decorating and moving things around, and does breakfast.
Playing.
Sarah does, Sarah does breakfast.
Playing? Wait, hang on,
I say she plays in the rooms.
Because it's playing.
I just want to get this straight. So while Madame is playing in the bedrooms, you're doing the
I
books?
generally do bookkeeping, all the invoicing, dealing with the bank. I'm always about a month behind on my paperwork.
I can't imagine how an 8-room hotel is keeping you so busy that you can never change a bed, Ralph.
I don't do beds.
I don't do beds?
No, I don't do beds.
It's quite clear to Alex that Ralph and Sarah's working relationship, or lack of one, isn't good for business. But she's keen to know what they think.
To your mind, what is holding your business back?
The standard of the rooms, especially the bathrooms. To me, this business is about 3 Bs: bedroom, bath and breakfast.
I kind of agree with you, I have
We've
to
got
say.
the breakfast right.
Sarah, at least, appears to be on Alex's wavelength. But there's another contentious topic at Jessup House. Ralph's recently opened restaurant, which is currently making a loss.
How's it been going so far, the restaurant?
I think it's going quite well. I do feel that in the long run, it will be successful.
I never wanted to do food. I always wanted to just do the accommodation side. But we said we'd give it to, what, the end of the year? And if it
We're going to give it to
work-
the end of the year.
And that's it, then we'll just forget it.
I think that's wise, you know. I really do, because you do not want to lose your shirt. I mean, it can be a nightmare.
Despite the restaurant costing more than it brings in, Ralph is very protective of his baby. As part of Alex's investigation, she dines at Ralph's upmarket Italian restaurant.
Can I please have the saltimbocca?
The verdict on the restaurant will have to wait until tomorrow. Alex retires to her room for the night. It's early morning, and true to form, Ralph is ensconced in his office. Down in the kitchen, Sarah is preoccupied, both with Alex's breakfast and her worries over the room Alex slept in.
I don't let that room unless I really have to. It needs redecorating, needs recarpeting. You can still hear the bells, which go every 15 minutes, so hopefully they didn't keep her awake.
Morning, gorgeous.
Ah, good morning, Alex.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Good. How did you sleep?
The bed was comfortable, but you know, that room could really do with some work.
Yes, yeah. That's a definite.
But I'll let you get on with my breakfast
Okay.
first.
One aspect of the hotel that Sarah is completely confident about is her breakfast. But she's feeling the pressure serving it up for an acclaimed hotelier and restaurateur.
Nearly broke it. Damn.
Thank you. Thank you, doll. Very, very nice. A nice breakfast is made up of nice ingredients. There's a delicious sausage, a delicious egg and tomatoes. And look, this bread looks lovely. Something that so many hoteliers get wrong, and it's not that hard. You know, yesterday you mentioned the 3 Bs to me. Bed, bath and breakfast, I believe.
Yes.
Well, this aspect of the Bs you've got perfect.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed breakfast, thank you very much.
Excellent. I'm glad you did.
A clean plate and an A+ for one of Sarah's 3 Bs.
Excellent stuff. Yeah. Result.
After breakfast, the inspection continues. Jessup House bills itself as a boutique hotel. But the fledgling restaurant, barren-looking barroom and tired bedrooms fall well short of what an upmarket customer would expect. Having witnessed at first hand the sorry state of her own bedroom, Alex is keen to assess the other accommodation on offer. In a bid to get Ralph reacquainted with the rooms he's admitted to knowing little about, Alex asks both him and Sarah to show her around. First up, the room Ralph and Sarah are most proud of, the regally refurbished Room 6, one of the 2 rooms that have been upgraded.
And here we are, the jewel in the crown. And I have to say, I love the carpet, love the bedspread, like the headboard. There are things that I would have done differently, but that's a question of taste.
personal
and I'm
taste,
not getting into that. How much did this room cost you to do?
I would think around 7,000.
Okay, and you sell it for 85 quid a night.
Would you pay £85 for this room, Alex?
I would pay 85 pounds for this room.
But just a few steps away lurks the undecorated Room 4, priced at £79 a night, just £6 less.
You know, the curtains are pretty depressing, the carpet's pretty depressing. We have a horrible vanity unit. And looks like there's been no money spent on this room for 20 years. I think people come somewhere like this because they think they're coming to a boutique townhouse hotel. I do not think that this is a boutique townhouse room.
Right.
Up in the eaves is Room 8. At £120 a night, it seems the higher they go, the higher the price. And Alex's expectations follow suit.
First impressions are it's very beige. The carpet, obviously covering a bald patch, doesn't give a very good impression. It just makes the room look untidy and unfinished.
Why do you think I get so depressed when I come in the room?
I never even noticed that.
There's several rooms like that.
No.
There is.
Why would there be carpet missing in a room?
If I'd have mentioned it, you'd have said, I don't want to know, I don't want to know.
No.
Yes, you would have.
After an uneasy 24-hour ceasefire, the room recce triggers a resumption of hostilities.
So I know exactly what's wrong with my rooms, and I say to you, this needs doing, this needs doing, this needs doing, and you're saying, no, it doesn't, when you don't even notice.
But you never said it was like that.
Why should I have to tell you exactly?
Because we have the same carpet in room 3 and 7, and I'm saying that carpet doesn't need to be changed, but doesn't have that problem. You're saying
Room 7 does.
Has that problem?
Yes.
You never come up and play in the rooms, Ralph. That's why you never notice anything.
Why is there no carpet underneath there? That's a strange thing.
Don't you know your hotel? God's sake, man.
Alex realises it's going to take more than just making over the rooms to turn around the fortunes of Jessup House. The time has come for Alex to confront the warring Ralph and Sarah with her findings so far.
I feel very frustrated with this business, I have to be honest, because I think it sends out very mixed messages. There are elements which are fantastic. The breakfast I was very impressed by. The restaurant, which I still think is a way to lose your shirt, but I love the food. But the rooms and the bathrooms are very tired, and I don't see how this business can succeed unless something changes dramatically.
I still think we're offering a pretty good accommodation in the area.
I mean, I think your bathrooms are miserable.
Yeah, I mean, the bathrooms need more than anything.
You know, you feel really like you're in a boarding house.
Finance is finance. Either you have the money or you don't. You can't spend money you don't have.
The only way to make more money is to be able to raise the rates, and you can only raise the rates if you make those rooms nicer.
Ralph won't heed Alex's advice. The restaurant is hemorrhaging hundreds of pounds every week and is an extravagance the hotel can ill afford. The hotel inspector believes that focusing their finances on revamping the remaining rooms is much lower risk. It holds the promise of both a fast return on investment and an increase in repeat business.
Sarah has very much a guest-oriented perspective.
Well, it is my life, really. It is my vocation.
I think that you've got to stop playing in the office and you've got to start working at the coalface, because it's a luxury having a business that you only do the bits that you enjoy.
Somebody's got to be running the ship. If you're involved in the daily doing of everything, who's guiding it? Who's looking at the big
I think
picture?
that's bullshit, because I guide my ship and I'm involved in every single detail. What is the point of doing it if it isn't fun for both of you? And my God, one feeling I am not getting is that it is fun.
You know, I think what you're trying to say to me, do you love the hotel business? And I would say,
I don't think you do love
No, I don't love the hotel business.
I'm a hotelier to my bones, to my marrow, making sure that my guests have the best possible bloody time so that they come back, because there is nothing like that repeat business. That is the holy grail of hotel keeping. Now, I can see why people wouldn't come back here, because I don't think you're offering a special enough experience.
After the meeting, while Ralph retreats back to his office, Alex takes Sarah off to the grounds of Tewkesbury Abbey to discuss the potentially sticky issue of Sarah's relationship with Ralph.
So let's cut straight to the chase. Are you, in fact, more frustrated with the business or with Ralph?
Oh, Ralph, definitely. His second wife used to say, he's hard work but worth it, and I just stop at the hard work.
Alex is concerned that Sarah doesn't seem to have an equal say in running the hotel.
Do you fight your corner?
I try to, but he's a very good arguer. I just get a bit worn down by it, really, because you can just blow my opinions and arguments out of the water. And he has to have control of everything.
Alex departs from Tewkesbury and leaves Ralph and Sarah with a very simple decision to make. Either move up market by investing in the rooms, or give up on trying to make Jessup House anything more than a run-of-the-mill B&B.
Unfortunately, Ralph and Sarah seem more intent on quarrelling with each other than on unlocking the full potential of their business. Much more importantly, they need to finish the renovation of their hotel. The question is, can I convince Ralph of that?
Over the next few days, it's clear that Alex has made her mark.
Alex managed to wind Ralph up a bit, which was good. Managed to rattle his cage a bit. He doesn't take criticism very well, but he takes advice quite well if it's from somebody he respects.
I mean, if Alex wants me to take more part in the everyday running of the hotel, I have to say that's entirely possible, provided someone can relieve me of some of the paperwork and other responsibilities. Yeah, I'm willing to consider it.
After a fortnight to reflect, the hotel inspector returns to Tewkesbury. Alex is hopeful things may have begun to change for the better at Jessup House, though the first notable change isn't quite what she expected.
But there's no menu in the menu case. Why is that then?
Alex, hi! It's lovely to see you. How are you? I'm fine.
It's nice to see that the A board's out, advertising what you do here. Why is there no menu in the menu box?
There's no restaurant. We don't have a chef. Yeah, it didn't work out.
Oh, no.
Sarah had an argument with him.
I had an argument with him.
He was only with us a week.
I understand it's a blow because it was something that, you'd launched into with great enthusiasm on your behalf.
No, we weren't busy.
We were busy for where we were.
Ralph is obviously disappointed at the restaurant's closure, but fate may have played into Alex's hands. Will he now redirect those energies into bringing the rooms up to the standards expected of a boutique hotel?
Since you were here last, we've had two lots of people that have checked in and checked out again.
Oh, no.
Yes. One couple weren't happy with the room. They thought it was shabby and wasn't a reflection of what was on the website.
Which is not true. I don't think that was the issue why they left them. They wanted to be at the Hilton. They wanted restaurant.
But why would they have booked here, darling, if they
I think he made a
wanted to
mistake.
go to the Hilton?
They
were quite pleasant about it.
I hate to say this. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often in some ways because your grades of rooms are so different. So your two rooms that you've done up are very glamorous. I mean, it just doesn't all hang together sufficiently well.
We have people that prefer the old rooms.
It's clear that Ralph and Alex are poles apart when it comes to the best survival strategy. If the aim is to deliver on the promise of a stylish townhouse hotel, stop guests leaving disgruntled, and build all-important repeat business, then Ralph and Sarah must transform the rooms from disappointing to desirable. In a bid to convince Ralph that creating a boutique-style hotel is money well spent, Alex has arranged for the couple to spend a night sleeping with the enemy. In many ways, the Cheltenham townhouse, just 20 minutes away from Tewkesbury, is what Jessup House could be.
It's very nice. Nice open space. It's a nice building. Yeah, right.
The couple are booked into a standard room. At around £80 a night, it's the same rate as a standard room at Jessup House. Alex hopes Ralph will get the message.
Oh, wow. Look at that. No carpet in the bathroom. It's a good start. But I like the retaining the old, and the old with the new. It works really well.
Well, the thing is, it's just that it's just had a fresh coat of paint. We've actually gone further than this. Yeah. So I feel quite good, actually.
Oh, God, even the mirror's slimming. Oh, my God. They've got slimming mirrors in there. Oh, my God, I must find out where they got them. Oh, my God, I've got like a size 8.
As a matter of fact, I mean, it's amazing how many things we have done right, which is what I've noticed since we've walked in. We've done so many things right.
At Jessup House, Alex has taken it upon herself to invite a select group of potential customers for a peek behind the curtains.
Hi. Hello. Thank you so much, all of you, for coming in. I'm going to show you some of the rooms at Jessup House Hotel, and I would appreciate it if you gave me your honest opinion about the positives and negatives in every room.
She's hoping the focus group's reactions will demonstrate to Ralph the benefit of a refit once and for all.
No, it's not really cared for, is it? Yeah. And look at the toilet roll holder for the shower, to hold the shower out.
Is this more or less the standard of the room that you would have expected?
No, I would have thought it had been a little bit more at market.
If you arrived here and you were told that this room was £79 a night, what would your reaction be?
Not what you expected.
It would probably deter me from coming back.
Next, Alex takes them to the refurbished Room 6.
Oh, I like that. Yeah,
It's nice, isn't it?
It's really, really good.
Although this isn't part of the bathroom, I could
you don't
accept that
notice it,
there.
yeah. It blends away
Yeah,
more.
that's right.
Yeah.
It's just a lot more modern and contemporary and clean.
After the negative response for the previous room, what are the group's views on this one?
Isn't it?
It's very impressive.
What would you pay for this room?
I'd have said 90.
Yeah.
It's maybe even a little bit more.
Even though they charge 79 for the other rooms, for this room they charge 85.
Oh, I'd rather have upgraded then.
If I came here with somebody else and they had this room and only paid £6 more,
There's no comparison, is there?
The general consensus is that the rooms are overpriced. There's not enough differentiation between the newly done up rooms and the old rooms, that the bar needs, and all the public areas need attention. Every single one of those people who I walked around said they would not be happy to pay the amount of money that Ralph and Sarah are asking for those rooms. No wonder they've had people walking out.
Last night, the hotel inspector arranged for Ralph and Sarah to stay at a successful local competitor.
It's very rare for me just to be able to get up, have a shower and eat breakfast. I mean, that's really rare. Ralph. It's not so rare for Ralph.
The Cheltenham townhouse is modern and stylish. Guests are led to expect luxurious boutique-style accommodation, and the 22 impeccable rooms and welcoming bar area deliver in spades. Alex is hoping the visit will inspire Ralph and Sarah and impress on Ralph the need to improve his rooms.
Morning.
They got an eco policy.
I recycle all the guest newspapers and
I think
bottles.
it's ridiculous.
No, it's not. That's what people like, things like that.
It's because they're all ridiculous.
No.
Morning. How was your night?
Very good.
Coming here, it makes a lot of things at our place to me seem very old-fashioned and twee. The way they've done
Chic,
that.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely and it's so simple.
So I really want you to meet Adam and Jane Lillywhite, who own the place. First of all, because they're a couple and they run this together. And second of all, because they are both fully involved in the business. They both work full-time looking after the guests. And I think you'll find them very helpful and very charming. Let's go.
The first topic on the agenda is how Adam and Jane manage both a personal and professional relationship, one of Ralph and Sarah's biggest failings.
We had 5 years of barely arguing. I can possibly think of one in 5 years. And then we started to work together, and then we certainly caught up.
We've had to have our own division of labour, really, because otherwise you're just crossing each other's paths, and being married, it doesn't work at all. So I tend to look after all the appearance of the hotel, and Adam does all the administration. Obviously, we both have to do customer service and hospitality.
I'm just saying your personal relationship is a lot more solid. Whatever issue, we have the exact same issues you have in a business relationship, but our personal relationship is nowhere near as good as yours is. So we have personal issues well and beyond our business issues.
You're making a quick judgment on that.
Next on Alex's agenda is to illustrate to Ralph how to achieve the level of elegance needed of a boutique hotel without breaking the bank.
Our philosophy was to keep it simple, really. I mean, the carpets, the wall colour and the curtains are all the same.
Because the boat we're in is very different, you see. When we bought the hotel, we certainly didn't look at the rooms and think there's going to have to be £50,000 outlay to do the rooms, you see.
You don't need to spend a fortune, you know, it's more sort of more Matalan than Harrods. It's kind of nice to do it yourself as well, though, because you really feel it's yours then. You put your own stamp on it and you feel...
Well, I think Ralph doesn't really enjoy the business that much.
He doesn't have that interest in the room. My interest has always been the accommodation. That's always what I've wanted to do, is be able to present rooms like yours.
I mean, in my opinion, you're in denial, because in my opinion...
I think you're painting me into a corner, but I'm not going to argue it.
No, what
Yes,
do you
you
are?
I'm totally realistic about the business, and we wouldn't even we wouldn't be even functioning the way we are if somebody wasn't keeping an eye on what's going on. I mean, I know exactly where our business stands, and I know exactly what it needs. But I think some of the ideas are simplistic. I mean, you know, you have to be able to fund it. They came in able to fund what they were doing. They came in with the money.
Yeah, they came in
with
with a good business plan, Ralph.
With tensions running high, Ralph and Sarah return to Jessup House alone.
Ralph's very good at dishing it out, but he's not very good at taking it. He doesn't like being criticised, and he enjoys running a business, but he doesn't enjoy the business of hospitality, and he's not suited to the business of hospitality.
I mean, there are different types of work people do. While you can have someone doing a physical job that takes 14 or 16 hours a day, somebody else might be doing something more valuable, whatever it might be, and it might only take them 8 hours a day. I do an awful lot of planning, an awful lot of thinking, and an awful lot of logistics work as to where we're going to go.
Had I known that Ralph would have not been quite so committed 2 years down the line, I don't think I would have sunk my life savings into the business.
Before rejoining Ralph and Sarah, Alex takes time out to reassess her strategy. Ralph's dismissal of Alex's advice as simplistic has called for a change of tack. So before Alex's second visit to Tewkesbury comes to an end, she decides to sit Ralph and Sarah down in the bar area to let them in on the feedback from her focus group.
It was very, very interesting what they came up with. One couple said that if they'd been quoted £79, they would have turned around and walked out straight away. But they were all blown away by room 6. They also said that if you come with friends and one of you gets room 5 and one of you gets room 6, for the price differential, someone is really going to feel like they're getting the short straw. You know, I don't think you're stupid, Ralph, you know. I think you're tough nut to crack and you're pretty stubborn. But I think that if you see that it is worthwhile doing this, then you'll commit, and you've got to do that as far, you know, to hold your own in the marketplace.
Resigned to the fact that it'll take more than compelling evidence to convince Ralph, Alex tries Plan B.
I would like to try and help you do a sitting area in here. I think this is a completely dead space, and it could be so much more attractive. It could be a real high impact impression as people walk in the front door, and I think that would be wonderful.
Thank you.
Plan B seems to go down well, but they won't be getting something for nothing. Cue Plan C. The new bar will come at a cost. Ralph and Sarah must make over the tired and shabby room 4 themselves.
If you can do something like that in short order, it will prove to you that it's not this fucking mountain that you need to climb, and see how cheaply you can do it.
Make a little fun game out of it.
Yeah. Wanna dare you. Okay, let's give it a go.
Okay.
Okay, deal.
But it isn't quite over, because Alex has another part to her strategy.
I would like you to swap roles entirely for the day. So that means, Ralph, I'm afraid you're helping with breakfast one morning and starting from there. Because I also think it is essential that Sarah sees receipts, gets to grips with some of the things you do, and you get to appreciate each other's roles. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to wear a dress or red lipstick.
We got a lot more customers. Let's go see that.
Okay.
Alex's challenge appears to have been taken in the right spirit, and the hotel inspector sets off from Tewkesbury in a buoyant mood.
I feel as if I'm getting somewhere with Ralph at last. Now he's seen what the Cheltenham townhouse has managed to achieve on a sensible budget and heard what the focus group has to say about the rooms that aren't renovated yet, he must realise that finishing the redecoration is the only viable route to success.
But while a deal may appear to have been struck, Ralph's not about to loosen the purse strings and splurge on room 4. If money is going to be spent anywhere, he would still rather it went into restarting the restaurant.
I personally just think it should be accommodation, that's it.
Yeah,
But it's up to them to find somewhere to.
What if that doesn't achieve your goal? There's many right roads, but you can still only take one of them.
But what
you
if
say
it
you
does?
want, well, you won't get
But
repeat. I just think you'll get less repeat business.
But we don't get any repeat business. We don't get
Conversation
any.
over. I'm not talking about it
But
anymore.
we
I'm
don't
not talking
get
about
any
it.
repeat business, do we? What repeat business do we get? We don't get any repeat business. We don't get many repeats. That's the whole point.
Ralph is adamant that the restaurant will do more for business than improved rooms. Alex still has plenty of work to do.
I don't think he's coming back.
Ralph and Sarah managed to put their differences aside for long enough to start work on their part of the deal. A thrifty DIY makeover of room 4, inspired by the Cheltenham townhouse.
I do feel that this is as good or better than the rooms we saw at the Cheltenham townhouse.
But the tensions are never far from the surface.
Can't paint without sanding.
I thought I could paint those.
No, you can't.
Can't I paint above the unit?
What, so you want to open the paint up just to do that?
What? I don't think it hurts, does it, opening paint?
Well, I did say I wanted to open the paint one more
shit.
time.
But I can't really. It doesn't go off, does it?
No, it's
I've got a tin that's already open anyway.
It doesn't make any difference. Okay, but we'll do whatever you want.
Right, but you're working there, so.
I'll stop.
Sorry?
I'll stop.
No, it doesn't matter, but we both can't work there, can we?
No.
So you're not going to do anything?
I don't know. You worry about what you're doing and I'll see what I'm gonna do. What's the screwdriver for?
Just open the paint.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were scraping at the grout. I was getting nervous.
The couple are also keeping to the second part of the deal, swapping roles for one day. It means an early start for Ralph, cooking breakfasts.
I love to cook, but I don't want to do it for 15 people every morning. Sarah does a great job of it, so it's just one of her roles. Being kind of fast order chef isn't my thing.
And for once, Sarah gets to see the business from Ralph's perspective.
And Alex's idea to swap roles for a day is useful. I get to sit down, look out the window.
Ralph's next task is making up the rooms.
I hate this, getting duvet. This was, some sadist just invented this process. There's probably a process you're supposed to use, which of course I don't know what it is. The owner of the business should be guiding the business, not be doing rooms. At least it's mindless.
While playing in the rooms fails to spark Ralph's enthusiasm, elsewhere Sarah is relishing getting to grips with the figures.
Although I do know where the profit and loss is. Well, according to this, our net income for March was 3,536. Not a lot, is it?
Two months after first checking in to Jessup House, Alex Polizzi is back in Tewkesbury for her last inspection. A makeover treaty was signed up to, but has it been abided by? Most critically, Alex needs to ensure Ralph is convinced by her advice once and for all. With this in mind, she's organised a gathering for later.
Hello.
Hi.
It's great to see you.
Hi, Ralph. How are you?
I'm all right.
Hi, Alex. How are you?
First up, Alex wants to check out room 4. While she's been away, Ralph and Sarah have transformed it from a dull and charmless bedroom into a clean contemporary room, which now feels fresh and inviting. And at £3,000, less than half the cost of their previous upgrades.
Gosh, so this is different. So much brighter, so much lighter. I mean, if you think that this is the room that we had all the issues with when the focus group came round. Did you find it hard getting people in to do the work at such short notice?
We did it ourselves. Yes.
Did you?
Yes.
Yep, we did it all ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed. Ralph, we have finally found a use for you. Did you enjoy working together?
Yes.
Sarah did some painting.
Few arguments.
But-
I did quite a lot of painting.
Yeah, quite a bit. She doesn't want
You
to ever do it
complained about
again.
how much painting I was doing.
Well, I know, because you keep doing the same wall over and over again.
Good. OK. Well done.
This gives hope to Alex that despite the odd altercation, it's possible for Ralph and Sarah to work side by side. With the gathering just hours away, Ralph and Sarah get spruced up before Alex reveals how her design team have given the bar similar treatment. What was once a cold and empty space with little thought given to the comfort of visitors has been changed into a stylish, welcoming lounge. The hotel now has a heart that guests can enjoy and feel relaxed in.
You've got to admit, it is so much better.
It is.
I mean, you've just ruined this room. It's very nice.
It's impossible, man.
It's lovely.
It is. It's wonderful. It
You're
really
happy
is.
with
Yeah.
it?
And I'd like to come and sit in here, and that's the acid test, isn't it? If I would.
We're not going to let our guests in.
No.
It's just what their aspiring boutique hotel was missing. The future's looking brighter for Jessup House. Its status as a boutique townhouse hotel has improved with the renovations of the bar area and room 4. But Alex has been banging her head against a brick wall, trying to convince Ralph of the right path. So she's invited a few familiar faces around to have a look at the new and improved rooms and help Alex persuade Ralph. Adam and Jane from the Cheltenham townhouse mingle with members from the original focus group.
It just gives our guests a place to sit down, have a casual drink, glass of wine, bottle of champagne.
Ralph even appears to be relishing a front-of-house role and takes the opportunity to show off the newly refurbished room 4.
I'd be happy to stay in here now.
And he gets straight to the point.
So what do you think the price should be?
95, 99.
No, you've got to go.
95.
I mean, you've got to be at
100.
least £10 more.
That's lovely to hear. I can laugh.
I think it's worth.
Makes me
It's
very
worth at
happy.
least £10 to £15 more,
Right.
in my opinion.
The pennies appear to have dropped. If the Jessup can charge £15 a night more for newly decorated rooms, overhauling the whole hotel would generate an extra £30,000 a year for an outlay of just £15,000. 2 months ago, Ralph preferred to steer clear of the hotel's rooms. Now, like a proud father, he shows off room 4 to Adam and Jane.
Well, this is our newly decorated room.
Well, I mean, it's a very good room, there's no question about that.
And what do you think it's worth? Yeah, on a nightly rental basis.
I think,
Staying here.
pushing 100, really.
Yeah?
I'm sure you'd easily get that.
This is fantastic. I'm going to be getting my tools out. Get those tools out! So it's very good news. There's 5 more rooms now. 5 more. I think it's really great. I mean, to hear people actually saying that they'd be happy to pay, 85, 90 pounds for that room. I mean, you couldn't ask for more. You're gonna get your money back in no time. It's definitely giving me some incentive to try to get the next one done as soon as possible. Definitely.
He has never actually believed that I've given him good advice, but it's been reinforced again and again by every single person who's come through this door. And I think it's impossible to ignore now.
The hotel inspector's work in Tewkesbury is almost done. Despite some fierce resistance, Ralph is finally in agreement with Alex that the renovation of rooms is key to the success of Jessup House. But the business does have one potential problem remaining: Ralph and Sarah's relationship.
How committed are you, A, to each other, and B, to Jessup House?
I'm pretty much 100% committed to Jessup House. No, I'm pretty committed to him. Ralph?
To me, I think the commitment to the relationship comes first. It's partially an age issue, I think, for me. I don't want to come out of it in 5 or 6 years, close to 60 years old, of wasting this valuable time in my life. So I think it really is primary to me. Not that it's perfect, but that we get on well enough to say, you know what, we're having a bit of fun.
Thank you so much.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. It's been lovely to meet you.
Lovely
And it's
to
been
meet
lovely
you
having
too.
to stay with us.
If Ralph and Sarah can manage to put their differences aside, work together improving the rest of the rooms, and not re-enter the restaurant game, Alex is certain they can achieve their goals and turn Jessup House into the attractive boutique-style hotel it deserves to be.
I'm thrilled, if slightly surprised, that this has ended on such a positive note. I hope this augurs well for Jessup House, and I hope too that Ralph and Sarah can build on what they've learnt during this process. Good luck to them.
But have they really buried the hatchet for good?
In terms of our personal relationship, I don't know. I just think you have a harder time with personal relationships. I think you just find it all more difficult.
All right. Been divorced twice. Mrs. divorced once.
I've got at least one more divorce left in me. You're not complete without 3.
Hello, Hill House.
11 years ago, Duncan Staton left his job and home in St Albans to open the Hill House B&B in Ross-on-Wye with his partner Alex and their kids. They dreamed of the good life.
Hey, Piggy, come on. I'm a bit worried that he might be gay because he hasn't done the business yet. It's no good, you're going to be sausages. We're both interested in permaculture, really. Sustainable living, stuff like that. This is wood for the biomass boiler, the wood-burning boiler. It's got to be dry. The philosophy of the house really is local food, organic, local produce, and the best of fare. Well, King Richard the chicken heart is the big cockerel. I'll see if they've got any eggs. Get out of it.
I describe the Hill House as being a relaxing,
Easygoing.
relaxed place to come and stay.
This is our poetry and wisdom wall. We invite people to write on the wall, preferably keeping to poetry or wisdom, but some people haven't quite got the right idea. Eggs for breakfast.
But Duncan has discovered it's not easy being green. Although they have a small, loyal clientele, the B&B makes pitiful profits. It means Alex must go out to work to make ends meet. And with no money to pay staff, Duncan is having to run Hill House single-handed.
Oh, bloody.
At the moment, I can't afford to give up my job in order to work here because, although it's a rubbish income that I get, it's a steady income.
This is how you make the bed, make the bed, make the bed.
Duncan works like, he's a complete maniac. He doesn't stop from the minute he wakes up to the minute he goes to bed at midnight. He doesn't stop.
People in hotels all over the world think, you don't do quilts like that. Well, I bloody do.
The punishing workload has meant a string of unfinished projects around the grounds and the 400-year-old house slipping towards disrepair.
Yeah, I'm getting quite stressed out. Yeah, the frustration of not getting things finished.
The future for the B&B and the family's precious way of life is looking far from certain.
The worst thing that could happen is that we could go bust. We would have to sell and go. Don't know what to do, really. We've come to a bit of a full stop. Semicolon, anyway.
Duncan and Alex are hoping that renowned hotelier Alex Polizzi can help turn their meagre fortunes around.
I can already see a certain amount of disorder. There's mismatched tables and chairs, a half-rotten hanging basket swing, rotten wooden benches, lots of cigarette butts. The whole place looks like it needs a really good sweep and tidy.
He doesn't like being told what to do, so it'll be interesting when he meets Alex.
To get a guest's eye view of the B&B, Alex will stay the night.
Duncan?
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Hill House.
Thank
nice
you.
to see you.
So nice to meet you. Thanks for inviting
Glad
me.
you could come.
Do you want to tell me what room?
Put you in the Dryad suite.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you charging for that a night?
35. Both the suites are 35.
Per person?
Per night, bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
And the ordinary rooms are 29, bed and breakfast.
Gosh, darling, that's a bargain in this day and age.
Well, yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, tell us about it.
All right, lovely, thank you.
So this is the main room of the Dryad suite.
Who decides on the decor?
Me. I did this room.
So the entire decorative scheme is yours?
Come out of my fevered brain, and charity shops and stuff
Skips.
Like that. Some skips, yeah. Bloody good stuff in skips.
Do I have permission to have a good snoop about the
Sneak
other
away.
rooms?
It's the best way if you just wander away.
Thank you so much, Duncan. And then I'll come back and chat to you and we'll start working out where I think that you need some
And I'll do as I'm
help.
told. I don't like criticism, but I'll try. I'll try and listen, and I'll be open-minded, and but I'm not promising anything really.
Everything is extremely dusty. This door's nice and dirty. And a very nicely stained tablecloth.
I hope she's broad-minded enough to realise that we are slightly different, and we're going for slightly different people than your average hotel goers.
Oh. Ooh. I'd love to know why I've got some perky-breasted, hairy-legged dryads on these doors. Ho ho, this must be a little joke. A skeleton in every closet. Probably Duncan's idea of a bit of fun.
The Hill House has 2 suites and 3 standard rooms.
Woohoo! Shagpile heaven.
All with ensuite bathrooms.
I do always like to see a few agricultural implements in a bathroom. It gives it a certain ton.
Priced around £30 to £35 per person per night, bed and breakfast.
Yuck! You see, this is another example of something that Duncan probably thinks is very witty.
The largest room is the North Suite, which comes with its own balcony and bespoke pine ensuite.
Well, this is a lovely big room, and I really like the bed up on this little platform. But that's pretty much where the positives end. This is clearly intended to be the ethnic room, with the brasses, that truly repulsive wall hanging, and the plates, etc. I'm sure that Duncan thinks that I'm going to make him declutter, and I am, but not because I want it to be less quirky. I just want it to be better. Everyone thinks they have good taste, and not everyone does. It's that simple.
The decor in the cluttered guest rooms has failed to impress. Now Alex takes her investigations downstairs.
Stuff everywhere. Why would anybody have their books like this? I mean, I'm itching just to... It just takes no time at all, and it looks so much better. Oh, look how filthy this is. It might be kind of boring and bourgeois to worry about things like cleanliness and, well, for example, that disgusting fish tank that is completely furred up with green gunk. I find that rather off-putting. Onward, ever onward. Gosh, that has been made by generations of a spider. There's just such disorder everywhere. I'm all for shabby chic, but this is shabby shite.
Perhaps Duncan's cooking will be more to Alex's taste. Wherever possible, he uses produce from the garden or from local suppliers. Supper is a bargain-priced £15 for 3 courses.
I try and give as much as we can for the lowest price.
Gosh, don't know what they feed these chickens on, but they're big, baby.
We just charge £10 for a bottle of wine. Some wine will make a couple of pounds on, and some it's just pence.
These are very generous helpings. This is dinner for 2, but it's still half a chicken each. Very nice vegetables.
I believe she will enjoy the food, but whether she says she's enjoying it or not, I don't know. If she isn't, I'll just tip it over her head.
This is fantastic.
Oh, jolly good.
I have a question for you. This is a meal for two.
Yes.
What does it cost per person to put on the plate?
I haven't worked that out.
15 quid for this cheese and ice cream is ridiculously cheap. You know, so
Right,
you've really
okay.
got to think, you're not doing this for love, darling. You're doing this is a business.
That's true, yes, that's true.
So, well, I'm sure that tomorrow morning when I ask you what it costs to put breakfast on a plate, you're going to have the answer at your fingertips.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Good, Duncan.
I'll know.
I'm giving you the heads up.
Right, okay.
But next morning, it's evident that Alex's demand for a breakfast breakdown has not been enthusiastically embraced.
She's insisted that I work out how much the breakfast costs. I really don't know. I earn eggs about 20p. That's 40p. The juice costs 2.50. But I mean, what's that? It's kind of soulless, isn't it?
Morning. Morning. Okay, come in. You're decent.
This'll make a man of me, won't it? Jesus. Cute. Did you work out for me what this cost to put on the plate?
No, I haven't.
And the juice, I mean, just juice for breakfast is impossible trying to work out how much people have.
The point is, darling, you have to focus your mind on what it is that you're giving and what it is it costs you to put it on the table. There's a cost to everything you produce, and you have to make sure that you make a profit on that correctly, otherwise there's no point running this as a business.
Right, okay. Hello, it's Duncan here at the Hill House. Hiya. Look, I've got a really stupid question for you. There's this tyrant staying here, and I've got to work out exactly how much a breakfast costs. Can you tell us how much a rasher of bacon is? One of those big ones I had yesterday, and how much one sausage would be? It's really stupid, isn't it?
He seems to be making a virtue out of this business stupidity that he has. You know, he laughs his jolly green giant laugh as if I've asked him a ridiculous question. Well, surely it's a question he should be asking himself every day.
Tea, I don't know, 50p? Loaf of bread's 1.50. How much bread do they have?
This is the opposite to every crappy mass-produced breakfast anywhere. It's wonderful. So far Duncan's shown himself to be rather good in the kitchen and rather devil-may-care about his costings.
Oh, this is impossible, it's stupid. This is completely wrong and alien and ridiculous.
So will Duncan be receptive to Alex's plans to boost his B&B's bookings and profits? First, there's one part of the business she finds unacceptably organic.
So you cooked me a lovely dinner last night,
Yeah.
but you cooked it in a...
Yes.
I mean,
Yes, horrible.
that completely disgusts me.
Yeah.
We go into the dining room, and last night I was thinking to myself, when's the last time this was even hoovered? There's food all over the floor. I mean, this, for me, is incomprehensible. There's just disorder everywhere. Clearly, you are challenged on the cleaning front, and I would suggest that you would make life a lot easier if you had less stuff that collected dust.
I don't have enough time to get down on my hands and knees. And, you know, there's loads of other things here. I'm not just in here doing this.
No,
you know, so...
but if you want to find out from me how you can improve your prices, how you can get busier,
yes,
you
I'm
have
gonna
to.
get this clean,
This is a non-negotiable
difficult.
part of it.
Yeah,
Do you
it's
see
difficult, yeah.
Next, Alex wants Hill House to become a lean, green, money-making machine.
And the fact that you have this kind of rather cavalier attitude to every financial question I ask you
Yes.
is shocking, because you're working yourself into the ground for not enough reward.
Right.
And as well as looking at how you can charge more money, you have to see how you can decrease your costs. I think you're potty to be making £1 profit on a bottle of wine. You buy a bottle of wine for £9 and you sell it for 18. This is not ripping people off. Because otherwise...
It's a lot, isn't it? A lot of money to pay for a bottle of wine, isn't it?
It's a business. You're not doing this for love, you're doing this for money.
I don't know if I could... I feel really guilty.
Finally, Alex wants Duncan to make more of his environmental credentials, and she'll make over the North Suite to help tap into the lucrative green tourism trade.
I like quirky, I like individual. I don't want this to be like every other place one goes to. I don't want it to be anodyne.
Okay.
It's a reflection of you and Alex. I appreciate that. But if you want to charge more, you have to give more.
Yes.
Righto?
Right, OK.
Gosh, much less screaming and shouting than I
No,
expected.
no screaming and shouting. No. Thank you, right.
Bye.
Then. Bye-bye.
But although Duncan's all smiles as Alex leaves, it soon becomes clear he's far from convinced.
It's a lovely sound, isn't it? Crunching bones. It's Alex.
Nevertheless, he sets to work cleaning.
It was worthwhile Alex coming just for her to tell me to dust the bloody books. So I've done that.
Polishing.
I used to do it lots, but I don't seem to have had the time recently.
And tidying.
Well, I've cleared up the fag ends. I started putting grass down, but it's too late to plant grass seed, but I put some soil down. Trouble is, the cats are using it as a toilet now, so I don't know which is more respectful, having my dog ends out there or cat poo.
But when it comes to breaking down his costs, Duncan has decided to make a stand.
I'm not going to spend any time doing it. You know, I've got more important things to do. I haven't got a big army of people to do everything for me. I've got to do everything myself, and I'd rather be polishing the floor than sitting adding up a column of figures and accounts and finding out that we could make 35 pence more profit if we didn't give people an extra shot of coffee in the morning. Oh, for goodness sake, you know. No, I ain't doing it.
4 weeks after her first visit, she's back to see if the seemingly defiant Duncan has acted on her plans.
So far, Duncan definitely seems to have got the message. The exterior has been massively cleaned up, and I only hope that the same is true of the inside. Gosh, well, Duncan's done a lot here already. The leaflets are all tidied up, and it all looks a lot cleaner. I'm pretty impressed. I thought Duncan would need a lot more prodding to get this far. Duncan! Hello.
Hello there. Oh, nice to see you again.
Very impressed with what you've done here
I'm
so
doing what I've been
far.
told. I'm doing it. Yeah, it does look good. You were right. You were right.
Is it all right if I go and have a look around?
Oh, you carry on. I'll put the kettle on.
Lovely, thank you.
Despite the improvements, behind the bar there remains a potent symbol of Duncan's rebellion.
Duncan's tidying up obviously hasn't stretched to the back of house area because behind the bar is still a fucking mess. Thank you. Right, well, it looks to me like you've made some efforts here.
I've been trying.
But, Duncan,
Yeah.
but, Duncan,
Yes.
but, Duncan.
Yes.
I know you love the cobweb. But
Yeah, I
really,
put a spider in it. Have you seen the spider?
It isn't listed, darling. And although I know you find it amusing,
Yeah, I do.
remember what we're trying to do here is make this place appealing to more than the kind of person who finds big cobwebs amusing.
OK, yes, OK.
Yeah?
Right, the cobweb, you're saying the cobweb has to go.
Have you got on with the other things I asked you to do?
What did you ask me to do?
Costings.
Oh, yeah, I've done all that, yeah.
Have you? You're lying through your teeth, aren't you? Have you done anything?
No.
Duncan has refused Alex's request to break down his costs, citing fears that raising his prices will put off his guests.
I think he's dragged his heels so much because he knows that the results are going to be parlous. I think he knows and is ashamed about how unbusinesslike he's been, that actually he's all sound and fury signifying nothing. He works, but he works incredibly inefficiently, and what is the point of working if you're not going to make any money at the end of the day?
To get her point across, Alex has made a temporary change to Duncan's unique wall of poetry and wisdom.
As you see, you've got a new wall of wisdom. This is all customers of yours who we've contacted and asked whether they would be prepared to spend an extra tenner.
That's nice of them.
I mean, well, darling, they all agree. Charging more wouldn't deter us from going back. I'd be happy to pay an extra £10 a night as the breakfast really does warrant it.
Oh, really?
So, darling, the general consensus is you're too cheap. And so it isn't just me who's telling you. Your customers who like you and who like coming here tell you to put up your prices. There's a difference between ripping people off and making a profit. And
Yes.
you really,
Yeah.
to survive, we need to make sure that you make a profit.
That's wonderful.
Okay?
With Duncan seemingly more on side, Alex wants to enthuse him about her intended makeover of the North Suite. She's planning an eco-friendly design that Duncan can trumpet to the growing green tourism market. So she's taking him to Bailey's, a local store that specialises in renewed and recycled products.
I kind of think that there's some stuff here that's fab, and then there's lots of extraneous stuff that is just purely decorative, and that's the last thing we need. But I was just thinking about how to kind of add value to your rooms.
Yes.
Boxes for dirty linen, things like this for teas and coffees is quite nice too, aren't they? Let's go and have a look through this way. Look at these are lovely.
They're not, they're horrible.
Well, then they'd be much nicer than what you've got in your bathroom currently.
No, they wouldn't. No, anything in the
That's
bathroom.
very
you've got-
chic.
It's not chic at all, it's awful.
Chic, okay,
No.
well, what about something like that then?
That's a little nicer for the outdoor patio furniture, yeah.
It's also nice for bathroom, darling. You just, I hate...
Cold. Sit on that naked. Not practical.
But I do like these stools.
Yeah, nice stools.
Very nice stools. This is the kind of thing that I was thinking that you could have organic, unbleached linen towels. It's just quite nice to have the kind of things that guests could come and buy themselves if they wanted to. Or you could go and you could source any product from any local supplier, as long as you say where it's from, so that your guests have a feeling that they're somehow connected to the local community and they could go out and buy it themselves if they wanted to. Yes? An idea?
that would be good. Look at the state of that covered in dust.
The trip hasn't fired Duncan up the way Alex had hoped.
Very nice, but they're frippery, you know, twitty, twaddly. Wouldn't be pretty practical. A few nice bits, and obviously, but nothing for us really. Got to be practical and you know, live in the real world.
I think Duncan, for all his apparent laissez-fairness, is a bit of a control freak. He doesn't really like it very much when anyone tells him what to do or anyone takes over. He has picked up his game, and he's definitely attentive to what I'm saying. But it takes him a lot to actually pick his bloody sticks up and get a move on.
A few weeks later, Alex's team begin work, transforming the North Suite.
The North Suite was the slightly eastern, sort of Arabic, passage to India kind of wafting. That's the idea I had when I made it, so I don't know if they're carrying that theme through or not. Hope so.
They're using environmentally friendly paint, organic linens, and adding energy-efficient touches.
Hello, Hill House.
Meanwhile, Duncan is making some reluctant concessions.
£3.
First, the finances.
Extra. I need to work out the money side of things, so I am going to cost things out. If anything, just to shut her up. Yeah.
Then, the cobweb.
It's part of the new ethos of the Hill House. There's going to be no spiders' webs here, no spiders. Sorry, spiders, you've got to go. Alex says so. 9 years to build, 9 seconds to destroy.
Two weeks later, and Alex is back to see if Duncan has finally come round to her way of thinking.
Duncan! Hello! This looks nice.
Hi there. Oh, yeah. Give it a lick of
How
paint.
are you?
Yes. Oh, very well, thanks. Very well, yeah.
What other changes are there? Pricing structure, any changes, any movement there?
Yeah, as instructed, I put the prices up. We're now 39 and 34.
And costings?
Yes, I costed the supper and I put the supper price up. Well, it was 15, I put up to 21.
Very good. Bar, how's that looking?
Oh, it's de-webbed.
Oh,
yeah.
de-webbed,
Oh,
that's
it's been
right.
de-webbed, yes, yes.
And
yeah.
the suite?
The suite's a nightmare.
In an effort to boost the Hill House's green appeal and attract a less niche clientele, Alex's team have taken the North Suite, with its dusty clutter and Eastern vibe, and created a bright, clean and environmentally aware sleeping space. Gone is its leaking and dated wooden bathroom. replaced by a functional and elegantly stylish suite.
Good. It is much plainer than it was before.
Yes.
Do you not like it?
I don't like the style, no.
What do you think the style is?
Spanish two-star hotel, Lorette de Mar.
What makes it seaside two-star hotel in Spain look for you?
The shower curtain drapes, the lack of any kind of hanging around the bed. I'm astonished that you fundamentally misunderstand what we do here at Hill House, our weekend trade. You just don't get it. People come all the way from London on a Friday night, the traffic, through the snow and the rain, to come here to chill out for a weekend in front of a cosy fire, not on a hard matte floor, in a Lloyd Loom upright chair. This isn't what we do. This isn't what we're about.
OK, and I'm fundamentally astonished by A, how incredibly rude you are by not saying to me, thank you very much for sorting out my manky bathroom and making this look clean and neat and tidy. I don't believe that anyone could say that this is worse than you had before. It might not be to your taste, but then add the sodding drapes, bring back the old-fashioned chairs, put in what you like, darling. All I've done is given you a nice clean room because we know that some people like you, but it's not enough to make your business work. So what I'm trying to do is open it up to a new market who actually might think that it's quite nice to come into a clean, airy, nice room that isn't covered with bits of odds and sods and tat.
This is nasty, cheap, low quality, two-star Lorette de Mar. This isn't what we do at the Hill House. The crappy little Lloyd Loom chairs.
Bring in other chairs, though. But
okay.
why is that so difficult?
Okay, well, I'm going to.
Just bring in what you want to bring in. You know, I would like him to try and see outside his spectrum and realise that actually there are markets that he's not tapping into. But unless he's willing to give it a go, then what's the point? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Believe you me, that's how I feel about Duncan at the moment.
Some of the stuff she said sensible, and the sensible things she said I've done. But I'm not grateful. Sorry.
An uneasy truce descends on Ross-on-Wye. But Alex isn't ready to give up on Duncan yet. She's convinced that Hill House needs better marketing and more guests, and she has a scheme to boost both.
Duncan. So, the whole game plan here has been to try and sell some more rooms for you. Mm-hmm. As we know, you're very successful to a certain segment of the market. I want to try and broaden that out. What I'm envisaging that we do is we have a sort of press day. We'll have a handful, I'm thinking about 6 or 7 movers and shakers in the green community who will come here, have a look round Hill House, be entertained by you, host of the most, who will also cook them a delicious dinner. We'll talk to them about your vision of the place. Mm-hmm. Now that you've put your prices up, if we can also sell some more rooms, hopefully the profitability will also rise.
Oh, that sounds great.
Is that OK?
What room do you think I should put him in?
I leave it entirely in your hands, Duncan.
With Duncan seemingly satisfied, it's time to implement the final part of Alex's plan to put more bums on the B&B's beds.
Yeah, I've got some people coming tomorrow, and I'd like them to try some of your Earl Grey Blackberry.
OK, yeah, no
wine.
problem, no problem.
Convinced Duncan isn't making the most of his eco-friendly attributes,
Say 8 the specials, please, and a handful of bacon. Thanks.
she's arranged for the great and the good of the green media to visit Hill House in the hope they'll spread the word across the land.
I have said to Duncan again and again that he needs to make more effort to promote all his green initiatives. And that's why I've invited these journalists. And I'm hoping that that means that he'll make much more of a splash in the green movement.
Anything that sort of was Alex's idea does tend to sort of give me the shivers a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see.
There's a very powerful green pound, and I'd like more of it to be spent here.
3 of the green movers and shakers will be spending the night.
Oh, welcome to Hill House.
Thank you very much.
And they'll be joined tomorrow by another contingent of critics.
And this is the North Suite.
Right. Really good colours.
You like the blue?
I like the blue, yeah, yeah.
And down.
It's Duncan's chance to charm the guests and big up his credentials.
Vegan breakfast. Got some clippings from outside, carrot tops, potato peelings, usual thing.
You're joking.
Oh, yeah. So you might get a bit of paranormal activity.
Paranormal?
Well, it might just be me outside with a sheet on my head, actually, just dancing about. Perhaps you come down the bar later and have plenty to drink.
Yes.
Too much to drink.
Some vegan beer. And...
Right, yes. I'm going to go and check that right now.
Excellent.
If not, there's water in the tap.
I think it's important for Duncan to grow up. Sometimes it's quite useful to be a bit more mainstream. And most people are a bit more mainstream than Duncan is.
The Dryad suite. Mental, I think, probably, was my first impression.
Breakfast on the big day. And although Duncan may not have wholeheartedly embraced Alex's plan, it does seem he may be beginning to realise the potential pitfalls of a poor performance.
I've run out of black pudding and a broken egg. Damn things. And I haven't got butter and sweet. The whole place is completely filled back and ruined.
If they hate it and everything's awful, then they won't write nice things about us in their publications, so it'll be a dead loss.
So the eggs from...
Eggs are our own now.
The eggs are your own,
Chicken started laying again now, yeah.
Is this local?
Yes, unlabelled.
Are they wild raspberries? Or
Yeah, there are. It's down by the, yeah.
What's the story with the sausages?
They're sadly not our own because our pigs aren't doing the business, but from the butchers, and they're Gloucester Old Spot pigs. You're only allowed 25 centilitres of apple juice per person, otherwise I have to charge you 180 quid for a refill. That's right. So no toast?
No, thanks. It's beating me. I don't think I can finish any more. The whole lot's just too much.
With half a dozen sharp-eyed writers and journalists about to descend on Hill House, Alex arrives to lend her support.
You know, why these little, like this? Why? Why is that here? Yeah, does it belong here? No. I think I may have mentioned to Duncan once or twice before just how important a first impression is. That tin, these bits of wood, sweet wrappings. Look. He's obviously completely determined to ignore me.
There's nothing Alex can do now but throw open the doors and greet the guests.
Come in, come in.
A formidable mix of green gurus.
Do you know if he does all the decoration? Like all the skeleton in the closet.
They're given freedom to roam the house.
Oh, this is a lovely room. Blessed idiosyncratic. Yes, that's what it is.
Tempted with some local tipple.
Ladies, will you have a drop?
A drop.
And then it's down to Duncan to impress with his home-cooked fare.
I've drunk lots of English champagne and lots of English wine, and I'm pretty blasted, really. I'm all the tears, I don't know what I'm doing. The journalists are just eating, but they haven't drunk. They've had cups of herbal tea, which is quite peculiar, but I'm having a nice time anyway. This is how we drain the greens, drain the greens, drain the greens. Soggy.
I think it's going quite well. The food is delicious. We know that Duncan can cook, so that doesn't surprise me.
People think because you're eating vegan, it's got to be rubbish. It's got to be sort of substandard.
If he keeps it down with the clever quips, we're going to be OK.
The finale is a tour of the grounds.
So this is outside. Cat's fled, I think.
Walk down carefully, because it's a bit treacherous.
You come in and you think this is a bit, it's a little bit untidy, it's a bit, a little bit like an archaeological dig.
This is work in progress. This is going to be the Eco House. Yeah.
2020?
Yeah, probably. Oh, God.
It's just so higgledy-piggledy mess. I just can't bear the fact that he doesn't pick up after himself.
Alex is hoping the green VIPs can unlock a significant new market for the B&B. But has Duncan won their support?
Well, I have to say, Duncan's very friendly, makes you feel very at home. My one bit of advice to him would be to try and pull a bit more order out of the chaos.
I do think tidying up more, and it's a slight letdown to not have a more welcoming arrival, I think.
It's great to see tasty, honest, home-cooked food.
The commitment to sort of organic food and the local produce is exceptional. But you're undercharging. You can't be sustainable just by doing the deep green things and forgetting the bottom line. So we really need you to tidy those elements up. And I think then you'll be a really successful business.
Particularly on the green front, I think, you know, you really feel like you've thought through a lot of the things. So on that hand, I'd say very much thumbs up. You care about the environment. You know, I think you have to get across more that you care about your guests as well.
Well, the $60,000 question is, do you think that you can promote, or, you know, what can you do for Duncan?
I'd be delighted to feature you on my website, Green Traveller, because you're doing some fantastic things.
Writing about food's my business and food is my joy, so anyone would like to come here and eat your food.
I definitely recommend this place to other people. I'd probably say it with a few provisos.
OK, thank you all very
Yes, thank
much
you.
for your
Yeah.
time
It's been
and
a
your
pleasure.
comments. So how did you think that went today?
Oh, brilliant. Went very well. Thanks very much. It's great.
Well, as you remember, I'm sure, the whole idea was to try and get some, you know, a bit more of a buzz going about this place. And your green credentials have now been firmly established.
Yes, established.
So have I managed, what, if anything, Duncan, have I managed to teach you?
You've taught me to be more professional, a bit more sensible about things, and yeah, more professional. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you know, you work bloody hard, Duncan, so you need to have a return from it. Because this isn't just your business. Hive off that and it's your family's home. And we need to make sure that it can keep on going and you can keep on making the improvements to it that you want to so much.
Yeah. You give me a kick up the bum, which is what I needed, so that's done a lot of good.
Good.
Yeah, I'm taking the mickey, but I'm not really, I'm very grateful, really. Yeah, I am.
OK, Doll, thank you. Thank you very much. Duncan hasn't been the easiest person to work with, but to some degree I've managed to get through to him because it is cleaner, it is more welcoming, it is better organised, his prices are higher, he has a much nicer bedroom than he had before, and he has an eye to the future. All in all, I'm pretty satisfied.
The Bellingham, a 33-bedroom hotel in the heart of the northern town of Wigan. Run by 24-year-old former burger van operator Richard Phillips.
See, that's what I'm used to doing on a catering van. Frying chips, grilling burgers.
Richard's dad, local businessman Steve, took over the Bellingham last year.
Morning.
Morning.
Putting his inexperienced son in charge of restoring the once proud Victorian hotel back to its former glory.
Did that help?
It did actually, it went back in a bit.
As well as taking responsibility for 33 bedrooms, 2 bridal suites, a function room, restaurant and bar, Richard also inherited his sales and marketing manager, the 6-foot former catwalk queen, Jen Hunter.
Richard is our divine leader.
Richard always wins.
No, Richard doesn't always win.
Richard's in charge. An ex-supermodel as your marketing manager, I suppose it gives the Bellingham a bit of a wow factor. I suppose it puts a bit more glamour back in the building. Oh yes, genius.
He wouldn't have been my first choice to run a hotel. If you could wave a magic wand and make him brilliant at personal organisation and management, then that would be great.
And he's a what?
He's young, so he deals with things that some people wouldn't deal with in certain ways.
Shit at this bit as well.
Swear to God, man, you will test any woman's patience to the limit.
Richard and Jen also failed to see eye to eye on the Bellingham's Wild West-themed restaurant, the Speedway Grill. Richard's grand plan was to inject some northern soul into the building, but his cowboy cuisine failed to fire up custom, and he was forced to shut its doors.
Genuinely thought it was really going to work. It just makes it all the more unfortunate that it just never really took off.
I think that you need to stick to your job
and I need to stick to my job.
The failure of the restaurant hit the hotel hard. And with bedrooms selling for just £25 per night, Richard and Jen have found it hard to agree on the way forward.
It's going to get to the point where it's going to be cheaper to close a business down and board the windows up than it is to get people into the door.
If Richard doesn't turn things around soon, the Bellingham could go down the pan.
Failure's not an option. I really don't want to fail, and I'm the boss, so anything goes tits up. It's my fault.
Enter the hotel inspector. Can renowned expert Alex Polizzi help Richard secure the Bellingham's future?
You're looking very smart today, Richard. I am impressed, but that's not to say you don't always look smart.
So, here I am at the Bellingham, which apparently 30 years ago was the place to be seen in Wigan. Looking at the cactuses either side of the front door, I've got a treat in store.
To find out why the hotel is failing, Alex will stay the night.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. My name's Richard.
Richard, Alex Polizzi.
Hello.
Hi, Carol.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you for having me here.
If you just book in with me first, and then we'll take you upstairs to your room, OK?
Yeah. Am I allowed to have a look in some of the bedrooms?
No, of course, wherever you'd like to see.
OK, great, thank you.
If you'd like to come with me, I'll show you.
Great.
To your room. Let me get the job.
Thanks, darling.
The Bellingham has 33 ensuite bedrooms. But for her stay, assistant manager Carol has arranged for Alex to be offered her choice of the hotel's 2 premier rooms, the bridal suites, both charged at £70 per night.
Thank you.
Let's go in. This is one of the 2 suites which we use predominantly as wedding rooms. It is classified as one of the better rooms. So this one's charged out at £70 a night.
It wouldn't cost a lot of money to put a plain white cover on the bed. That, with this carpet and those blinds, are kind of death.
To be a fly on the wall would be good. I know I said I wouldn't want to have been following it, but at the same time, you always want to know what's being said about something that you care about so much.
Goodness. I don't know whether it's the tiles or the floral curtains with the tiles or the pink shower curtain. I'd find this a pretty depressing suite to spend a wedding night in. Onward.
The first suite has left a sour taste, so Alex demands to see option 2, which looks very different.
Thank you.
Here we are, Alex.
Compared to the other room, this looks like the Savoy. I can't quite believe that you sell this room for the same price as the other room. It's a bit cheeky. Thanks, bye. Well, the decor of this room is not to my taste, but it does look as if it's been fairly recently done. It's quite fresh. Not quite sure what this is for.
I suppose I'm a little bit nervous that she's on her own. I mean, there's always the chance that she could find something that would massively surprise us, but no, I'm fairly confident.
OK, this is the first sign of things not being done particularly well. Can you see that? That dark, nasty mark? I mean, that's pretty manky too.
We've done the normal monthly deep cleans and the guys have done all the room inspections.
Never seen that happen before.
I know that it's clean. I'll always back that up. I know the housekeepers do a good job.
Ah, look at all this. Starting to feel slightly grossed out.
A tour of the Bellingham's other rooms, charged at £25 a night, also fails to raise a smile.
Everything's horrible. You know, the curtains are disgusting. The carpet's all tatty. Pillows? Can you call that a pillow, even? Does that come under the pillow family? Gosh, well, this is a pretty depressing room, isn't it? Almost the most depressing thing is that someone has thought, in a moment of lunacy, that the only way to cheer this room up is to put these kind of rather odd beach hut pictures around. Why would you put one there? They probably don't sell it on The View, do they?
With the bedrooms providing little cheer, Alex heads downstairs. But to her taste, the Bellingham's Northern restaurant is a little too Western.
When Richard took over as management, they tried to make it like a kind of steakhouse grill theme.
They invested quite heavily in the artwork on the walls. Put a few cactuses in there, tried to make it feel a bit desert-like.
It's horrific.
It's rare that I've seen such an ill-conceived restaurant idea in all my life. Of course, it didn't work, and this is what is left. Who wakes up in the morning and goes, I know what I'll do to revive the fortunes of the Bellingham Hotel. Let's have a Mexican grill.
It's not a Mexican theme, it's just cactuses. You get cactuses in America. I like the cactuses.
The colour in here is awful. The lighting in here is awful. This is where they now serve breakfast. I don't know, it's a very uneasy mix for me. I don't like it at all.
The disappointing bedrooms and the ill-conceived Speedway grill have left Alex wondering if the young manager has bitten off more than he can chew.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Gosh, so if you were forced to write a job description, what would you put under the title Role and Responsibilities?
Overseeing reception, managing the bar, overseeing the kitchen and managing functions.
It sounds to me like the accommodation's a poor relation here.
In what sense?
Well, you haven't mentioned a word to me about checking rooms. You haven't said to me about checking housekeeping standards. Goodness knows, I could write you a nice song this. I haven't met Jen yet. How do you get on with her?
I think there's a lot of focus being put on the relationship between me and Jen, but...
Well, obviously, because you're the two front people, really.
I disagree. Me and Carol are the two front people for me.
OK, I think you misunderstand the role that a proper sales and marketing person has in a business, in a hotel business. They are basically one of the linchpins of a business. All right, fine. I think that's enough for today. Thanks so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Bye.
All right.
For Alex, the meeting with Richard has done little to inspire confidence.
In the 70s, this was the place to be seen, but the 70s is now a very long time ago. And, you know, the passing of every single year has left its mark on this place. I really have no idea which aspect of this I need to help them tackle. We've got an inexperienced manager. They don't have a restaurant anymore. Rooms are £25 a night. I can't quite understand how they think they're going to make this work. There isn't one bit that doesn't need attention. If I was in their shoes, that would make me very, very nervous.
After a good night's sleep, Alex is forced to make a pit stop at the hotel's Speedway Grill, the Bellingham's now defunct restaurant that serves as a breakfast room.
Good morning.
May I take your order, please?
Yes, lovely. I'm going to have an English breakfast. I'll have some coffee too, please.
OK.
Thank you, darling.
While the chef prepares the banquet, Richard is on hand to give it the royal seal of approval.
OK, let's go.
Fit for a king.
Yes, I agree.
Lovely, thank you.
Enjoy your breakfast.
Thank you so much, gosh. The breakfast of champions. Arr.
But while the food might hit the spot,
it's fine.
The decor is less appetizing.
It's really an inappropriate place to eat breakfast, isn't it? Somehow.
With the chef's skills not in question, Alex is keen to discover why the Bellingham's Speedway Grill crashed and burned.
Hi, chef. I had a really nice breakfast, thank you very much. It's a kind of dead space at the heart of the hotel, isn't it? Does it bother you that there's...
It upsets me a bit, to be honest with you, because it should be a good restaurant out there, and to see it just sat there, dressed up for breakfast day in, day out, just upset she's the chef, to be honest with you.
It's the Speedway grill bit that I don't get, and the Mexican bit side of things.
The actual design of the restaurant had nothing to do with me.
Okay. It'd be useful to see what menu you used to
I
have
have a copy there. of that.
Thanks. So, well-priced starters, side orders, and very keenly priced meat too.
The restaurant's offering has given Alex more food for thought.
The menu certainly isn't what I'd like to eat, and it's very heavily meat-based. I mean, if you didn't want meat, there wasn't really an option. Successful restaurateurs are the ones who are kind of slightly ahead of the curve. I'm not entirely sure that Richard's in that league.
With a mothballed restaurant and hotel rooms past their sell-by date, Alex is worried that if Richard is ever going to be ahead of the curve, he's going to need some straight talking.
So, I have a little surprise arranged.
Right. As general manager, she believes Richard isn't spending enough time overseeing the bedrooms and is unaware of just how far they've fallen behind customer expectations. So she's invited a group of the top movers and shakers from Wigan's Bridal Society, from wedding planners to prospective brides-to-be, to run their eye over the hotel's four-poster bridal suite. And they've come dressed for the occasion.
Hello all, do please come through. This is the general manager.
Hello everybody, my name's Richard, it's nice to meet you.
I'm going to leave you in Richard's hands.
Right, well, I'll show you the function room first.
No, I'd like you to show the bedrooms first.
I'll show you the bedrooms first.
Thank you.
Can Richard turn on the charm?
Richard is very laid back about certain things. He puts in a hell of a lot of hours. Never cleaning rooms though, funny that, isn't it? I've never actually seen him don a penny and actually get down to the bare bones of it.
Do any of you have any thoughts on the room?
It's very tatty.
It's
Very
very
tatty.
dainty.
It wouldn't appeal to a young aspiring bride like Rebecca, I don't think.
There's a lot of
It
pine.
smells quite musty.
Yeah.
There's cracks in the ceiling, wallpaper's hanging off.
He's got a group of very outspoken people, which is exactly what I needed. I want him to hear some proper feedback.
My nightmare.
I hope this is helping Richard come to my conclusion that ultimately this is not a room suitable to be described as a wedding suite.
First impressions are awful.
Right.
For Richard, the management honeymoon is well and truly over.
You know, you have to put yourself in the lion's den once in a while to know what's really going on. This is a big group to deal with, darling. I do recognise that. But I think it's important to put you under pressure.
Some of the criticism, it's negative, it's constructive. And as I've said to you, anything you've said, I'm taking everything on.
With Richard's eyes opened, Alex wants him and his team to increase the hotel's profits by upgrading some of their bargain basement rooms.
I don't think all your rooms should be £25 rooms. I think you have some room stock which is a £25 room, and you have some stock which is much closer to a £35 room. I'd like you to identify them and work out what you're going to do so that you can sell them at £35, £40, so that you have a third grade of room. It's a very quick way to bring in a little bit more income without spending a huge amount of money. You know, room profit is quite pure profit.
Next, Alex wants to tame the Wild West restaurant.
We all agree that this, at the heart of the hotel, and the fact that it's so underutilised, and actually I have to say I find personally incredibly ugly and unwelcoming, and this is something that I'm going to have to tackle. I am going to come up with a fantastic design for here that is much warmer, much more welcoming, that puts it firmly back at the heart of the hotel.
Alex also wants Richard and his team to do their bit by making over the food offering.
Get a menu in here that really works. Tempt the locals back in. Yeah?
Finally, Alex wants Richard to step up and be the leader the hotel desperately needs.
I think that Richard has got to man up. You know, you're the general manager. I know you've had a very steep learning curve. I appreciate that you've been firefighting and you've been covering lots of jobs. But I want to push you to become a lot better, a lot quicker.
Okay.
You need to go check rooms. You need to make sure your housekeepers are doing a good job. You can't take it on a wing and a prayer. You know, you've been in this role now long enough for the staff to know you. Now you need to start forward planning.
Manning up means stop moaning. Generally, when I use it, but I think when Alex is saying it, I think she's expecting me to stand up and be a better leader, it seems. I guess that's what she's getting at. Different to my definition, but I see where she's coming from.
With Alex gone, Richard wastes little time employing his new leadership skills.
What I've been doing at the minute is going round to the rooms, making a list to see which rooms are going to be best to upgrade to the middle tier. Bed needs fixing. The disturbing carpet needs to start matching the walls.
As general manager, I think it's very important that Richard spends time in the rooms, because otherwise, how is he to know whether housekeeping do their job properly?
Since Alex's visit, it has stepped up. The way that things are cleaned have been changed. When Alex does come back, if she does find any dirty areas, it will be cleaned. But I'm 100% certain she will not find any dirty areas.
But is Richard's new management approach a little too hands-off?
Need to get that one out. And every little bit of furniture, the only thing staying in is going to be the mirror.
The best GMs are incredibly organised. They're very good communicators.
It's not a present, it needs to go.
Right, would you like me to put them somewhere special for you?
I think being more commanding and taking charge, leading from the front, that's what I'm going to do.
Notice how Richard got the mattress and the bed in and we got the actual bed.
His main role is to stand back and see the bigger picture and plan the route ahead.
You just stand it with your hands in your pocket and watch us do it. It's fine.
I'm actually enjoying watching you struggle.
Bloody hell.
I hope Alex sees a new Richard when she comes back. Slay the lion roar.
Hello. How are you all? Good. How's everything been going?
We've been quite busy, I think. We've had lots to be going on. We were taking all your advice on board, and I think we've tackled it really head on.
Have you spent more time in the rooms, going around the rooms?
We've been up, taking stuff out of them and looking at the decorating that needs to be done.
So far, so good.
Alex wanted Richard to improve the hotel's profitability by upgrading some of the Bellingham's bedrooms, so he could charge more than just £25 a night. And he's keen to show off his progress.
So, this is the first one that we've done and completed.
My goodness, it's a huge, huge difference. This is definitely a step up in the world, isn't it? I mean, it does feel like this is a very different room from some of your others, even if you can only do a couple of rooms a month.
Yeah.
You just need that middle tier.
It's a good start, but Alex thinks Richard still hasn't gone far enough. Mindful of the grilling from Wigan's Bridal Society, she wants the Bellingham team to take on the woeful wooden suite.
It's just, this is a room that I think that you need to tackle next. I know that you think that this is what people want, and maybe they do until they see it. This should be a bestseller, but it isn't the way it is at the moment. Let's not waste this room. Let's get rid. Okay?
While she puts her trust in the Bellingham team to get to grips with the bedroom renovations, Alex decides it's time to get her hands dirty in the hotel's restaurant.
Right, the cacti. They have to go.
Oh. Do you want some tissues?
Bye-bye, cactus.
I did really like the cactuses. One of them started off as a penis on the wall as well, which is quite funny. There'll be some endearing memories there. I'll certainly be sad to see them go.
I mean, I know you don't have the full scheme, but it's going to be much chicer and actually much cosier. And I think the main thing is we've got to make it really appealing. And trust me. It's really important that relaunching the Bellingham restaurant is successful because, you know, within living memory and quite recent memory, the restaurant's already failed. So, you know, people don't forgive too many failures in a row. I think that if they don't hit the mark this time, The Bellingham restaurant just won't open its doors again.
Alex's team continues the transformation from Speedway grill to chic, modern and stylish bistro. After giving the restaurant a new direction, Alex now wants the team to put the hotel firmly back on the map.
Alex has asked us to put on an opening event to showcase the restaurant.
I'm so looking forward to being able to relaunch the restaurant, to remarket it, to get it out there, get it out in the public. I will work my backside off to make sure people are aware that this is going on.
But 1 week before the big relaunch, Richard's management skills are called into action. With the hotel's financial situation still uncertain, he's forced to make one of the toughest decisions of his young career.
Since Alex's last visit, I've had to make the decision to release a member of staff. That person's Jen. Solely for the reason that we just couldn't afford anymore. With the business how it is, we need to cut costs wherever. So unfortunately, we've just had to make that decision.
Unfortunately, they can't afford me anymore, which is a sad situation, but it's one of those things that you have to go through in life. Just put it down to experience and move onwards and upwards, I'm afraid.
With Jen gone, it's left to Carol and Richard to market the Bellingham's relaunch event.
Welcome to Studio 5.
So they look to spread the word with an advert on local radio.
I'm Richard Phillips, General Manager of the Bellingham Hotel.
You don't need to read that line because you know who you are and what your job is. Me and Carol look forward to meeting you.
Me and Carol look forward to meeting you.
OK, I want that last line again, please, Richards. The last one was a little bit stiff.
We can't wait to see you. Please, just come and see us. Please.
I like that last one. I think that's the take.
Back at the hotel, Alex's team have completed their renovations, changing the hotel's Wild West-themed Speedway grill from spiky yellow into a more tasteful, refined, modern restaurant.
Ready, Richard?
I'm ready.
Stay there. Ready? There we go.
Whoa.
How good is that?
Like the chairs.
Yeah. It looks like a real restaurant now, doesn't it?
It's fantastic. It looks a million times better when there's people in it, but even now it looks like a restaurant. It's fantastic. It's everything that we wanted, so.
I think it's gorgeous. I love it.
Alex's team have also transformed the hotel's lounge area into a comfortable and stylish environment. A perfect spot for modern diners to relax with drinks before or after dinner.
It's actually now just a real lounge now. It's not just a room with a name that doesn't fit. No, I'm really impressed with it.
A cool contemporary restaurant deserves an equally stylish menu.
Just example of things, we've got sandwiches, paninis, baguettes.
So, after much consideration, Carol, Richard and Dad Steve have come up with their very own Bellingham special. Tea and cake with ham and pineapple sandwiches.
The new menu that we've put together, it's very traditional. There's afternoon tea on it, which we'll be delivering on tiered stands. First impressions, it does look really good.
Yeah.
It's really important that Richard tastes the menu, make sure the portion sizes are right.
Bready, creamy and sweet.
Could be in Cornwall right now.
And make sure ultimately that each dish is something that they would like to eat.
All the classical tea rooms in Yorkshire, London, those type of places, you pay £25 a head for that quality of presentation. It looks absolutely superb.
Definitely got the wow factor.
With the restaurant, at least, ready for inspection,
Hi. I've got a room booked in the name of Philpin.
Alex has arranged for a representative of the prestigious Les Routiers organisation to visit. They recognise hotels that offer excellent food, warm hospitality and good value for money.
Decorated, so.
If Richard can impress the assessor at tomorrow's relaunch event, the Bellingham could become the first hotel in Wigan to win the right to display their coveted badge.
Thank you.
Let's pop your room key down on here.
Thank you very much.
Anything, just come down, let me know.
I will do.
All right.
But first, Richard has to get the Bellingham's new menu past the hotel inspector.
Hello?
Hi, is that Richard?
It is, yes.
Hi, darling, it's Alex.
Hello, Alex, how are you?
I'm fine. I've got to talk to you about the menu, though.
Okay.
You know, look at your lovely restaurant and look at this menu. This menu's a pig's ear compared to the restaurant. I mean, honestly, I've never heard of a ham and pineapple sandwich.
Right.
I have never heard of a prawn mayonnaise omelette. I mean, honestly, literally, darling, I'm gobsmacked at some of the things that are on this. I think you've lost your tiny mind. We need to make sure that the kind of food offering and the dining room, there's some kind of match.
All right.
I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, have fun. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
That is the definition of doesn't have a fucking clue.
Just spoken to Alex. She's read the menu.
Was there anything that she picked up and said, that's good?
No, there was no positive feedback.
Next morning, the Bellingham prepares for one of the biggest days in its history. But manager Richard seems to be taking a relaxed approach.
Richard!
Hello.
Morning. You coming down?
Yeah.
As Richard attempts a quick rewrite of the menu,
The ham and pineapple sandwiches have been ditched for ham and mustard.
Okay.
Alex gets a taste of what's in store.
It's a chance to sample our new restaurant menu.
Enjoy a traditional cup of tea in our Victorian tea room.
Plus a chance to win a stay at one of our bridal suites.
The Bellingham Hotel, Wigan Lane, Wigan.
What on earth is this rubbish about the Victorian bloody tea room? I haven't given them a Victorian tea room. I've given them a modern dining room. They never bloody listen, not to a word I say.
The hotel inspector's back, complete with bee in her bonnet.
Full of confidence that it'll be done.
I am always confident.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Already slightly irate because I heard the radio ad
Yeah.
in which you described your restaurant as a Victorian tea room. Is it a Victorian tea room?
In the daytime, it could be.
Let me see the menu right now. I assume that everything's completely under control for this, the biggest day of the Bellingham's life.
No, it's in control.
Is it?
Yeah.
Menu?
I've saved it on the memory stick, which I've just sent out. I can't do it.
I'm assuming that the ham and pineapple sandwich has been...
Yeah, it's not anymore.
And is the team ready for the day?
The team's ready, but it's a little bit different from last time, I think. Since you were last here, Jen's now left us. But it was a decision that I had to make.
I'm going to keep an open mind as to it was a good idea or not to lose Jen at this point in the proceedings, but possibly it might have been useful to have an extra pair of hands.
Unimpressed with preparations downstairs, Alex is keen to check on Richard's progress with the hotel's inferior bridal suite. Now it finally looks as though it can justify its superior room rate.
Wow, this looks very different. You've done a good job. It's a lot nicer now. It looks great, darling. Can I see the bathroom?
You may. You're going to be impressed.
What have you done with the orange tiles?
We've disguised them cleverly.
Darling, that's so clever. It looks really clean and much more modern. Well done.
Fantastic, thank you.
Let's go and get on with preparations.
So has Richard finally become the manager the Bellingham needs?
I mean, he's saying all the right things. You know, at this point, I have to say, there's not much I can do to help him with his event. We've gone right down the wire here. I just have to keep my fingers crossed and hope that his confidence isn't misplaced. So, we want to get everything set, but
Yes.
first of all, is this really how you want the restaurant to be set out?
I'm going to go and grab my list, cloths and cutlery.
Hurry up, chop, chop. It is now what? Almost 11:30. People are arriving at 1. We don't have that long.
Where has he pulled it?
I hope Alex is impressed with what she's seen so far. We're planning for it for a couple of weeks now. It looks organised because it is organised.
Richard, is this what you want me to lay out with?
I'm just looking for the rest of the cutlery.
He's lost the cutlery.
I need to find the frilly cutlery. Have you seen it?
While the cutlery remains elusive, another problem is delivered to the kitchen.
The bread's frozen.
Frozen?
Solid.
What a cock.
What's happened?
Frozen bread. And 1 hour to kick off.
I would say it's a supermarket job, don't you?
I would certainly say so, yes.
OK,
Quick.
do it.
Be general managerish.
Do it.
Bread has come in frozen. Richard has lost the cutlery. Any minute now, the whole situation is going to go into meltdown. I'm going to sound the submarine alarm, you know, diving. Boop, boop, boop.
Richard finally lays his hands on the frilly cutlery. But the young manager has no time to help set tables as the first of his guests arrive.
Madam Mayor, it's very nice to see you again.
Nice to meet you again.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, we're looking forward to see what you've been doing here. It used to be one of the places to go in Wigan, so I hope that's the case again.
The guests continue to pile in, enjoying the entertainment laid on by Richard and his team. The new restaurant attracts plenty of attention. And although Richard has removed the ham and pineapple sandwiches from the menu, it seems he may have forgotten to tell the chef.
Have a good score on your starters, chef? Hello? Yeah?
With things hotting up in the kitchen, Richard decides to get more hands-on with his management style.
Just do laps. You have to just alternate. So someone starts through that door, someone starts through that door.
But as Richard begins to win friends, Alex spots a familiar enemy.
I cannot fucking believe my Carol, excuse me. Can I just show you? Because I wouldn't believe it unless I've seen it myself. I feel like all my words have fallen on deaf ears. Not only has the fucking ham and pineapple sandwich come out of the kitchen, but everything I've said about leadership just doesn't really seem to kind of filter through his brain. How do you think it's going?
I think it's going really well. People are enjoying it. There's lots of people here.
I think it's chaotic. You know, the communication between kitchen and eating staff is bad. You know, they're not talking to each other very well. And I'm worried that no one's going to schmooze your guests.
With Alex's words ringing in his ears, Richard sets off on a Bellingham charm offensive.
Sorry to bother you guys. Is everything OK for you?
Yes, wonderful. Thank you.
It's all to your taste and liking, yes? Oh, wonderful. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Hello there. Sorry to bother you. Is everything OK for you? The soup to your taste?
Upstairs, Richard's newly revamped suite at least gets a seal of approval from the returning members of Wigan's Bridal Society.
Beautiful. That's what you
Much
expect.
better. The drapes on the bed are good.
Stunning. Fantastic, Richard. Beautiful. You've really worked hard. Really lovely.
Better, to say the least. Yeah.
Despite the slow start and the ham and pineapple sandwiches, the locals seem impressed by the new Bellingham.
The ambiance, the decor is beautiful.
Menu's fabulous. It's uncomplicated, plenty of choices. Really, really nice.
I should imagine hopefully people start coming back and it'll be like it used to be a few years ago.
The venue itself, the decor, everything, it's just right. It's just perfect.
But one opinion counts more than any other. Has the young manager done enough to win a coveted Les Routiers award?
The route to our subscribers and to people who know the route is basically that they are getting excellent service, good cuisine, and a warm welcome. Moving on to earlier today, we had your lunch and your launch of your restaurant. Your service, you need to work on that. We had the teas coming out before the main meals came out, and so there was a little bit of confusion there. On the proviso, that a lot of these things are done and updated, and I'll help out with some of the things that other things I've pointed out as well, and I'll be back in 6 months' time to check. I'm glad to say that, yes, you have met the criteria.
Fantastic, thank you very much.
Good.
Against all the odds, Richard has pulled it off. As Alex leaves the Bellingham for the last time, some final words of advice for Richard.
I'm sure you're relieved to know that my time here is done. But organisation needs a lot of work, and communication is the key. You know, you've got to be a general manager worthy of the name, and I think you're capable of it, but, you know, just those 2 pieces of advice: plan and communicate, and you'll do fine. And I wish you and your new restaurant all the best for the future.
Thank you very much.
All right, my darling.
The tips she's given me are helpful. The tips she's given me I'm going to remember and use, but I'm still the same. As I said, I'm just learning my job more as every day goes by. I've manned up maybe on the outside to Alex, but there's a man lurking in me too.